Karen's voice cracked like a whip across the cul-de-sac, shrill enough to make dogs howl. "This ramp's an eyesore, and I'm done looking at it." Marcus Wheeler, gripping the wheels of his chair, stared up at her from the base of his freshly built ramp, his heart pounding like a drum in a war zone. It was his only way into his own home, a lifeline carved from months of savings and sweat. Karen, the HOA's self-appointed enforcer, had been gunning for it since day one, claiming it ruined the neighborhood's aesthetic. Now, she stood over it with a crowbar, her face twisted with righteous fury, as if Marcus's existence was a personal affront. The ramp wasn't just wood, and nail-sit was Marcus's freedom. After a car accident stole his legs 2 years ago, he'd fought tooth and nail to rebuild his life. The ramp meant independence, dignity, a way to roll out his front door without begging for help. Karen, though, saw it as a violation of her pristine suburban kingdom. She'd sent letters, left voicemails, even rallied neighbors to her cause. Most ignored her, but her obsession grew, festering like a wound. Last week, she'd crossed the line, sneaking onto Marcus's property at midnight with a crowbar, prying boards loose and leaving the ramp a splintered mess. Marcus found it at dawn, the wreckage mocking his every effort to belong. The neighborhood buzzed with whispers as Marcus confronted her that morning. He rolled out to the curb, his voice steady but sharp. "You think you can just tear my life apart and walk away?" Karen scoffed, tossing her hair. "I'm protecting property values. You should thank me." The crowd thickened old Mr. Jenkins with his cane, Sarah the single mom, kids on bikes. They'd all seen Karen's tirades before, but this was different. This was war. Marcus held up his phone, showing the security footage of her midnight rampage. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Karen's face drained of color, but she doubled down. "You're not even supposed to be here," she spat, her words slicing deeper than any crowbar. The tension snapped like a taut wire. Karen raised the crowbar, not to strike, but to intimidate, looming over Marcus as if she could bully him into submission. The crowd surged forward, voices rising. Sarah shouted, "Back off, Karen." Mr. Jenkins waved his cane like a sword. Marcus didn't flinch. He'd faced worse than her, doctors who said he'd never live on his own, employers who saw his chair before his resume. He leaned forward, eyes locked on hers. "You're done, Karen. This ends in court." Her smirk faltered. She hadn't counted on the footage, the witnesses, the sheer weight of her own recklessness. The courtroom was a pressure cooker. Marcus sat at the plaintiff's table, his hands steady despite the storm in his chest. Karen, in a prim blazer, played the victim, claiming the ramp was structurally unsound, and she was protecting the community. Her lawyer spun tales of HOA bylaws and property codes, but the judge wasn't buying it. Marcus's attorney presented the security footage, the splintered boards, the neighbors' testimonies. Each piece was a brick in a wall closing in on Karen. When the judge asked why she took a crowbar to private property, her stammering excuses crumbled. "Two thought I was within my rights," she mumbled. The judge's gavel hit like thunder. Vandalism, property damage, emotional distress. The ruling was unanimous. Karen was liable for $20,000 in damages, plus court fees. Marcus should have felt triumph, but the victory was hollow. The money would rebuild the ramp, maybe even make it better, but it couldn't erase the nights he'd spent trapped in his own home, the humiliation of crawling up his own steps. Karen's fall was spectacular. She lost her HOA presidency, her reputation, even her husband's patience. Neighbors shunned her. Her perfect lawn sprouted for sale signs. Yet Marcus felt no joy watching her unravel. He'd wanted justice, not revenge. At home, he rolled onto his porch, the new ramp smooth under his wheels. Sarah brought him coffee. Mr. Jenkins offered a nod. The cul-de-sac was quieter now, but the scars lingered. Karen's rage had broken more than wounded, it had fractured trust, exposed the fragility of community. Marcus looked out at the sunset, his jaw tight. He'd won, but at what cost? Some wounds don't heal with a gavel.